Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on when you're watching this. Yep, it's Travis again. I recently had a friend from college reach out to me asking me about how I make stop motion animation videos because her son is wanting to start making some with his Lego. That's just a fun concept in and of itself that I have a friend from college who now has a son old enough that wants to do stop motion animation. While it kind of makes me feel old that I have friends from college now that have children old enough to do this type of thing, it also is really neat that I have friends from college that have children that are actually watching some of my videos and wanting to make stop motion out of Lego. It gets me excited. That's exciting. That's a lot of fun. And so I hope through this video, I'll be able to help him and maybe some others who want to start making some stop motion animation videos with a few tips about how I go about making some of these. Now, I will say I am in no way a professional at making stop motion animation videos. Most of the things I've learned, I've just had to learn through trial and error, and there are a lot of others you can find on YouTube and various places on the internet that have a lot better looking videos than I do. However, when I sit down to make a stop motion animation video, I want it to have that homemade feel, like you're going and sitting down on the couch with your family and watching a home movie. And so that's kind of what I've stuck with. And so even as I get better with some of this, and I don't think I will ever be a professional stop motion guy, but as I continue to work with this and play with it, always want to keep it looking like it's homemade and have that homemade feel. I like that kind of campy homemade feel. Okay, enough with the jibber jabber. Let's get to the question at hand. You want to know how to make stop motion animation videos. Well, I've got 3 tips for you today. All of these things I have learned through trial and error and working with stop motion on my own. But before we get to the 3 tips about how to make stop motion animation videos, I want to first show you a few of the tools that I use in order to help me make the videos that you've just watched. So let's get to it. After research and trying some different apps, I eventually found the Stop Motion Studio app. It's free and you can download it, and it makes stop motion video really easy. As you can see here, it keeps up with all the videos you make, and you can either upload photos or take photos right in the app. And those photos then will be used to generate your stop motion animation video. This app makes it super simple. Stop motion video at its core is really just a collection of pictures with small movements in it. And you combine all those pictures together and you get a short film like you're seeing now. The Stop Motion Studio app allows you to upload or take as many photos in the app as you want. And really, when it comes to stop motion animation, the more photos you have, the more clear and fluid your video will be. And I'll talk a little bit more about that here in just a moment. I will mention that you don't get everything in the free app, but for a one-time payment of $4.99, you do get all the features and everything unlocked for you, which in my opinion is really well worth it for $5. I would also suggest, if you're going to start making stop motion videos, to get you a good phone tripod. I've got a Geekoto one, but unfortunately they don't make this one anymore. But there is one very similar to it on Amazon, and I'll have that link down below in the description. And if you decide to buy it through my link, that'll really help me out. But one thing that's great also about getting one of these inexpensive tripods is a lot of them, including this one, come with a clicker. And when you're making stop motion animation videos, that clicker really helps out. You'll want a clicker because the clicker allows you to take photos for your stop motion videos without actually touching your phone. A lot of times when you touch your phone, it will wiggle or it will move, and it will slightly change the angle of your camera, or it will make it blurry from the movement. So having a good tripod and a clicker, especially a combo like this one, really helps out. Okay, now that I've talked a little bit about my must-have tools, let's get on over to the tips. Rule number 1, always tape down everything, because even the slightest shift will change all your future photos to be different than your past ones. Taping down your tripod will help if you accidentally bump it so that it won't shift. I would also suggest using a base plate to make your stop motion videos on, because it will help your Lego stay in place. And also take some painter's tape and tape down that base plate you're using. That way when you take your minifigure on and off of it, it won't shift around. And then you can zoom your camera in a little bit and you won't even see the tape. And if you've got builds that are not connected to a base plate, stick some tape underneath. That will help keep things from shifting around on you. But also a little caution, never use duct tape. Duct tape will leave a nasty sticky film on the bottom of your Lego. Get you some blue painter's tape. Rule number 2, use consistent lighting. Now, I am lucky. I'm married to a beautiful photographer who has her own lighting for photos. She actually does a ministry at our church where she takes all the photos for the directory. And so I've got some pretty good lighting that I can use for my stop motion videos or any other videos that I'm making as well. However, you can use any bright spot in your home, whether that is from the lighting in your house or natural lighting from a window. But I will caution you, if you use natural lighting, make sure that you take all of your photos at the same time of day. The sun at 10 a.m. coming into your house and the sun at 6 p.m. coming into your house is a lot different. And so you'll be able to tell those differences in your pictures and they will not look the same. So make sure that you use consistent lighting, even if it's natural. Also, you'll want to be aware of yourself. If you decide to step in front of your lighting, then it's going to cast a shadow on the photos you're taking. And lastly, rule number 3, make as many movements and take as many photos as you can. The more small movements you make with a figure and the more photos you take will just make your video that much better. Your characters will look like they're moving with more fluidity and it'll look more natural. Now, this is really where all your time goes into making stop motion videos. If you want them to look crisp and clear and fluid, the more movements you have, the better. And so that's going to be a time-consuming part of the process. It's going to take you a while to get all those photos. And the more photos you have, the better it looks, but also the longer your video will be. It's going to take hundreds of photos just to get a few seconds worth of video. So it is a time-consuming process, but it is very rewarding. And as you can see here, I'm just taking photos with my phone. I've got an iPhone, nothing special. I'm going to take all the photos that I need, and then I'm going to go into my Stop Motion Studio app, and I'll upload them all there, and we'll see what we get from all of these photos that I just took. As you can see, I've only got 20 photos here, so it's not going to be a very long video, but this shows you how easy it is with the Stop Motion Studio app. You upload the photos, and it makes the video for you. Easy peasy. And sometimes I'll use a Lego piece like this if I just need someone to be moving in a scene, and maybe I don't want to do stop motion pictures with it. I can just easily do this, and it kind of looks campy and humorous, and I just kind of like the funniness of it. And once I'm done with my stop motion video, I will use iMovie to upload it to and do all the editing for. iMovie is pretty simple and easy to work with. And that's really about it. Remember those 3 rules and enjoy it. Have fun. Lego and stop motion are all about having fun. So go out there and make some great videos. And until next time, keep building.